Testing. All right. Excuse me. So we are here at the fantasy draft lottery to decide picks for next year. Well, this season coming up next week, the 2025 season for picks 4 through 6. Before we get into it, I'm gonna go through a few things. Just the positioning from last year. Picks 1 through 3 go to the top 3 from last year. The champion last year was Dunder Mifflin Panthers, and then it was Wheels of Doom and Boogie Triple X-Men. 4th through 8th last year was Dream Team, the Lioness, which we don't have this year, the Warriors, the Squad, Thoroughbred. That's the rankings from last year, so that plays a part into the lottery this year. Of course, as you see, pick 1 through 3 goes to everything that was in place. From the weighted entries for the draft is 4th place gets 50 entries, as you can. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? I lost it for a minute. All right, but we're back to it. Let me get a stream going myself to make sure that I can keep up with what we got going on. Give me just a second, y'all. Okay. So as I was saying, you can see this weighted. It's a weighted lottery. So the better you did last year, the more entries you get this year. Dream Team was in 4th place last year, so they get 50. You can see it on the screen how everything goes. The Warriors moved up because the Lioness is not with us this year. Everybody else moved up from the 5th down through 8th moved up, and Big Wheel 101 comes in at 8th place this year. It's because we don't give you nothing. You got to earn it all. So, but you do have an opportunity to move up in the draft this year. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to get into the draft. And here we are. So if you see, we got the team names, the amount of entries that they have. This is correct for all the way, all the way through. So now we're just going to generate the order, and then we're going to get ready to go through those picks. So it says pick 1, but that's really going to be pick 4. So let's see if anybody gets to move up. So pick 4 is going to be the Warriors. The Warriors did move up a slot. Okay. 5th pick is going to be Big Wheel. Big Wheel moved all the way up from the last place, y'all, from the number 8 pick to get to go in to the 5th pick. Now that's going to be big. All right. So now pick 3 or pick, what's that, 6. Dream Team. Dream Team dropped down 2 slots this year. Big Wheel, that's the biggest jump we've seen since we've been doing the lottery. And for the 7th pick, Thoroughbred, he moved up a slot. Actually, he ended up being the same place, but he was in 8th place last year. And that leaves the last spot going to the Squad. So there we are, folks. There are your draft orders. Pick 1 will be the Dunder Mifflin Panthers. Pick 2 will be Wheels of Doom. Pick 3, Boogie Triple X-Men. Pick 4, the Warriors. Pick 5, Big Wheel 101. Pick 6, Dream Team. Pick 7, Thoroughbred. Pick 8 will be the Squad. Remember this. I just saw the chat from Tina. For the new folks or anybody that don't know who Tina is, she's the owner of the Squad. That's a bad place to be in this year, y'all, because we are doing a straight draft. If y'all remember, we talked about it last year. And it's going to make a little bit of a difference in the later rounds, but we usually end up picking everywhere anyway. But this is why you need to come into the top 3, because your pick is solidified when you're in the top 3. But there we are. There we have it. And again, the lottery is going to be next Sunday, August the 31st at 6:30 p.m. The draft room will open at 6 o'clock, and you can go in. I encourage everybody to do mock drafts if you don't remember how the draft situation went, of how everything happened. Big Will, I don't know if you know, but you're new this year, so if you're logged in, doesn't look like it. Look like Tina and Ding Ding are the only one. Okay. Maybe I'm missing something, but either way, if you need to do, I know some people can come back and look at this later anyway. So anybody that's watching or anybody that's looking at this later after the live ends, you should go and do a mock draft to make sure that you got the draft process down. And remember, log in early to the draft room. So if you need some help, I can help you, because I'm not going to help you after about 6:20. I won't be helping. So if you need help before then, I'll be glad to help. But after that, you're on your own. I won't even answer my phone. We all in this battle. Y'all will not distract me. But we there. And also make sure you can get into the draft room. That's another good reason to get in there early. Make sure you ain't having no problems. All right. Well, okay. We should have got some extra entries for that. For what? What do you want extra entries for? You got extra entries for being... Oh, you only moved down one spot. Come on. You only dropped down one spot. You was in 7th place at the end of the season. You got a benefit. You got to jump up for because the Lioness dropped out. I'm gonna tell you, just do better. Do better. All right, but that's what we're looking at, y'all. I look forward to the season, and if there are no questions for the chat, then I am going to end this, get everything entered into our system, and then post everything in the in our group chat. Well, I don't know which trophy you're talking about, that Tina, but it won't be the championship trophy. It's been a while, and then some of y'all are starting to try to catch up with me, so I gotta move on forward. I'm sorry, I got to, I can't allow you to catch up. I'll let y'all win a few years, but I still got more championships as anybody else, so gotta keep that rolling. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody showing up that did show up. Oh, you're not gonna catch up. Yeah. You can hold on to that first one. You be happy you got that one, but I don't know if how many more you'll get. I mean, eventually you'll win another one, but it won't be this year. That's just what I'm saying. It won't be this year. All right. All right, appreciate y'all. I'm glad y'all tuned in for this, and we'll see y'all next week at the draft. Take care. Have a good season.